Hello, everybody. How's it going? In stream to start streaming. I really should have closed that door, but sure. Anyways, who cares? It's kind of blurry back there, anyways. So, how's everybody doing? I remembered how to stream. YouTube had this weird thing where when I went to go into the live control panel, I had to go through the process, a couple of options of setting up a new stream before it would let me click into the one that I had already set up. Yeah, so somebody was saying there's a dull picture with three dots. I don't know what that was. So normally the thumbnail would be there, and I made a thumbnail for the video, and I see the thumbnail in some places, but then in other places I was seeing that three dots, and I don't know what that was about. So, how is everybody doing? There will be a fake Brian Locke in the chat. That is me. If we do go on tour, like we might be doing, I'll need to bring the tablet with me so I can see the chat. Yeah, I really don't know what the story was with that, the thumbnail. I even made what I felt was quite a nice thumbnail. But yeah, I was quite happy with my thumbnail. I spent minutes. Oh, here we go. We're duplicating. Let me just pause that. So yeah, I have my tablet playing here. That took ages to actually start playing for some reason. Hopefully the chat keeps up with it. I think it does. Look at this beautiful thumbnail that I spent all this time on. Screen share plus desk, I suppose. I completely forget how to live stream. Look at this thumbnail. It's beautiful. Got this little purple surround, got this kind of stroke, or is that what it's called, around the text, shadow. What the hell? Yeah, free version of the internet. That could be it, yeah. So, yes, ooh, some people got the nice thumbnail and others got the crappy ones. Can't he close the door? Well, you can't see the door anymore, but you still can see kind of a mess. Let me just move that box because it does have my address on it. Possibly my old address, who knows. He could close the door, but it's all the way over there. It's a real work of art. Yes. Perfectly manicured fingernail. Yes, that was the purpose of that picture. It's very 90s. Yeah. Fancy. It does say live Steam. It does say live Steam. Thanks for telling me now. I could have fixed that before. Yes. Oh well. Yeah, so I guess while we're chatting, we can start assembling a Christmas tree, I suppose. Yes, we also get to use this thing again, which is my focus adjuster. Look at that. It's a Steam, it's alive. Yes, so let me adjust my focus here. I suppose I need to zoom in. Yes, and let's move my big head out of the way, or move these out of the way of my big head. You silly light. There we go. My sounds a bit roomy. Yeah, I probably can't do anything about that. Oh, maybe my mic is... No, should sound a bit better now. But this room is quite echoey compared to my last room. It's bigger and emptier. So, and some of the walls are wood as opposed to block. So I don't know if that makes it more echoey or less echoey. Yeah, my mic was twisted and facing the monitor for some reason, so I'm not sure why. Okay, yeah, so PCB3s. And if you have any questions about anything, this is a super laid back stream. I'm perfectly happy to get derailed with questions, rabbit holes, anything. So yeah. So this is my PCB3, which I believe was the third PCB I ever designed, which kind of ties into the PCB3 name, as well as it being a tree. So this is a funny PCB. So if you're not familiar with it, I'm sure you probably are. It's in the shape of a Christmas tree. Obviously, it doesn't have solder mask here. So that's that yellowy color that you can see there is the fiberglass material, and it's much harder to see on this side, but in between the solder pads of the LEDs, there is also no solder mask. So you mount the LED upside down and it shines through the PCB and kind of diffuses through the fiberglass and illuminates the ball. So it's quite nice. I obviously was not the first person to do anything like that. But when I saw it, I was like, that would look really cool on a Christmas tree. So it was kind of high in my goals to get that done. And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing when I made this. And I just kind of stumbled along with kind of advice from some people and just, I don't know, pig ignorance with other things. So the way you should do these, do I share the PCB files? Not yet, but I will soon. I will almost certainly make this version open source, and the only reason I'm not making this version open source yet is because I would like to get the opportunity to be in a position to sell it. Like if I made this one open source when I was finished with it and I hadn't even sold it at all, and somebody else, if you want to make it Ashwa open source, it means somebody else can sell it. But I probably will make this one. It's just a matter of me getting the time to put together the GitHub repo for it. So how you should design a PCB like this is draw the tree outline in something like Inkscape or some other SVG creation tool and import it into your CAD tool. So EasyEDA or KiCad or KiCad, I don't know how to pronounce it. And import it in and set that imported outline as the board outline. I did not know any of that. Not a single thing about that. So what I did was I drew, using EasyEDA, I drew the lines of the tree, all the outlines of it. And that was a pain in the butt. I was there getting out measurements to see how far up I went with this one and doing the same over that side and how far in I came. It was an absolute mess. But it worked. One thing that's pretty funny about it too, I don't know if I have anything to actually highlight it, but it's not centered at all. The star is off to the right, I think. It's definitely off one direction. But yeah. So what's the difference between those? Thought one is seen from the front and the other one from the back and other from the front. The difference between these two, is it? We'll get to this one in a second. Okay, so how this works then is the LED, instead of being mounted outwards, is mounted inwards. So literally soldered upside down so the glass part of the LED, or plastic, I guess, I don't know what it's made from, is upside down, and the pads are kind of almost floating in the air. I don't think I have a soldered one here to show. But yeah, so instead of mounting the LEDs the way you should, you mount them flipped. And yeah, so, and that works fine. The problem is that it's not that, it's okay to assemble, but it's not great. I'm also using 0603 LEDs, which I don't think I need to at all. I bought a couple of different LEDs recently just to see what it'd be like. Is this them here? I'm not sure. They're probably over there. But like, I could just use bigger LEDs with, different footprints, and it should work fine. But I, as I mentioned, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was copying. I was heavily inspired by Dave Darko had this word clock thing, and I was making these in November, so I didn't really have time to spin up revisions and see how I got on. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to take what he had exactly. So he was using 0603 LEDs, so was I. Yeah. Hey Clem, how's it going? Yeah, so that's why they're 0603 LEDs, and they're a bit awkward to assemble, right? But the first year I was selling them, I sold some assembled ones, and I think it was $20 for the kit and $30 for the assembled one, so $10 for assembly. And that is not enough money for me to assemble them. It's just like, if everything goes really well, I can assemble this version in like 20 minutes. But if you get one LED that's been a little finicky and not going on straight, like the LEDs are, like the glass part is thinner than where the legs are, so it's easy to like mount it sideways. That's memory stick. Don't read my data from it. So like, you should put the LED straight down. So this is straight down. Like, it's easy to tilt it sideways because the point of the glass or whatever is so small compared to the other side. So it's easy for the solder to pull it one direction or another. Yeah. So you can't pick and place them either, right? Because they're upside down. Like, they come in the tape facing the way that they should. You can't flip them upside down. Although the Charm High, Unexpected Makers Charm High, give them a good go. Hey John, how's it going? Glue them first, maybe. Yeah, so you could glue them first, maybe, but again, it's not pick and placeable. So I was like, okay, I would like for 2021, because I only started this like at the start of December or maybe late November, but I knew it was too late anyways. Have you actually, I suppose I should probably show you what they look like. So there's a working version of, this is the new version, but the old version worked pretty much the exact same. So like, it looks pretty good. It's using a tiny 13, which is a challenge in itself. And so there's a few different modes on it here. I just want to go to this mode. So the LEDs are all Charlie plexed, and yeah, so it diffuses and it looks pretty nice. Adam, the LEDs are all a single color. I just use different colors so that it gives this effect. You could use like RGB ones, but you'd need more pins. So this uses 12 LEDs and 4 GPIO pins because of Charlie plexing. And also, I don't think he's on here at the moment, but I designed some of this on a stream as well. And when I was coming time for like putting a battery on it, it was Gavin Smalley. came up with the suggestion of using one of these right-angled battery clips as a like a kickstand, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the coolest things about it. Yeah. So okay, so all good. All right, so then I wanted to make it possible to get an assembled version of one of these. So I was thinking about like the different things that you could possibly do in terms of Simone Yech's everyday calendar. She had this diffusing an LED through a PCB thing as well, and like she was using multiple PCBs, if I remember right. Yeah, Yech, like that looks like Geertz to me. If I was to try pronounce it without having any context of how it is pronounced, but I'm pretty sure it's Yech. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe you could do the same. You could put like a couple of like PCBs together, and maybe have some diffusing material, or not diffusing, separation material between them, and then you could do it that way. And I thought maybe that would be a bit expensive. So I said, well, why don't I just I know there's some purposely designed LEDs for upside down mounting, and I knew they were expensive, but why not just build a couple of I don't know, build a version that used them and see what it's like, and see exactly how expensive it is, and see, is it worth pursuing or whatever. So yeah, I went on to, I think, DigiKey first, and they had ones made by Sunled. I think the key term that you're looking for is Z-bend or Z-bend, depending on where you're from. I don't even know how I pronounce it anymore. The letter Z and bend is the thing you're looking for. Let me show you what they'll look like. So I didn't buy too many of them now, but let's zoom us in a little bit here. So this is the tape. I'm not sure if I'm focusing right. This is the tape that they come in, and as you can see, you don't see the Polarity part of the LED. You're looking at the back of the LED basically. So there's the emitting part. So if you were to pick and place this, you'd be picking it from the back and putting the Polarity part through, and that's exactly what you want, right? So yeah, DigiKey had ones, I think, made by Sunled, and then Mouser had some made by King Bright. Yeah, both of them are American companies originally, but when you kind of look them up, they seem to have like American like fronts to them, but both of those sound like Chinese names to me, especially King Bright. Yeah, so they were a little bit cheaper on Mouser, like in small quantities. So like 1,000 LEDs. So that's somewhat big quantities. 1,000 LEDs for just regular 0603 LEDs. They are like 0.2 or 0.3 of a cent each. They're really, really inexpensive. Like on hey Eric, how's it going? On like AliExpress, I'm pretty sure I bought like a roll or a spool of LEDs for like $12 delivered for 4,000 of them. Somebody do the maths on what that costs, but it's incredibly inexpensive. These LEDs even in quantities of about 1,000, are about 30 cent each. And that mightn't even be delivered. I think that's just 30 cent for the BOM of them. And like, that doesn't sound like a lot, but there's 12 LEDs on here. So it really adds up. You know, the cost, basically, the LEDs on this one are basically free. Like, as in, it's not even 10 cent for the LEDs for this one. And then the LEDs for this one are like $4. So it's quite expensive. And that's like $4 before manufacturing, right? You know, like that's just $4 on the BOM of the LEDs, you know, so it's significant. Yeah, it's funny that like I'm pretty sure the Tiny is almost the same price as yeah. It's weird when your microcontroller costs less than the LEDs it's running. Yeah, so yeah, why do they make LEDs that can be mounted either way? Yeah, so I think John did answer that or whatever, but you have to make every single one, right? Do I have to make it? Is it? Well, my ideal thing would be to get someone else to make it, like Maker Fabs or someone like that. Hey Gary, how's it going? I would like to get to a position where, you know, I could fulfill, if there was a demand for assembled ones of these, I could fulfill them without it being a big cost on my time. So, yeah. So I got those LEDs anyways and soldered up my first test batch. I made the... I didn't clean this up or anything. This was just something I hand soldered. And I made the footprint in Easy EDA for the Z-bend ones. And so I opened the red LED. So I went to Mouser, found the red one or whatever, added a red one, then went back to the same search term and was like, okay, there's a green one, add that to the basket. There's a blue one, add that to the basket. And they were all the same size. That was about all I checked, that they were all the same size. And so I added a red one, a green one, a blue one, and I found 2 yellow ones. So I added 2 yellow ones. And I think I also added an orange, but I haven't used that yet. So that's all cool. That's all cool. But so when it arrived anyways, I designed up the PCB with a custom footprint. My kids are going to bed now, so I'm not sure if you can hear them, but I can hear them running around. I designed up the custom footprint based on the datasheet for the red LED. And let me zoom in on this now, but there is a marker, a polarity marker. You can see that like little gray box on the... Let me get my gold tweezers that you all love so much. Where are my gold tweezers? Oh, here they are. You can hear them. That's good. I know they're usually pretty good for going to bed. They're a little bit hyper though. So you can see that little grey box on the LED there, or at least I hope you can. That's the polarity marker. So I put my polarity marker on that side of my footprint. You can see it there. But you'll also notice that my polarity marker is over here for this side. But as you can see, or as you've seen earlier, this PCB3 works fine. So what's going on there? Well, the red one and I think the blue one have the polarity marker means one thing. So the polarity on this one means it's the cathode. And then on the green one and one of the yellow ones or whatever it was, I think it's the red and the yellow one I'm using are the correct polarity, or the polarity I designed it. So the polarity is the cathode. And then on the other, the blue and green one, the exact same marker. So like they're physically identical looking LEDs, physically identical polarity marker means the opposite thing on the different colors. And when I found this out, I was like, what? This couldn't be true. But no, so I didn't design it the wrong way. Well, so yeah, I guess maybe somebody in the factory did. I guess it's kind of on me. I didn't look at the data sheet for all of them. I only designed it based on the data sheet for the red one. I never in my wildest dreams thought that the same polarity marker would mean different things on different color LEDs. I was just gobsmacked. So how I actually found that out is I had soldered red, green, and blue on, so 9 of the 12 LEDs. And as I mentioned, I bought 2 yellow ones because I saw 2 yellows and I didn't know what the difference was between them. And I was diode testing. I was diode testing with my multimeter, and I was like, okay, test that one. That's yellow and looks fine. Then I did the same like orientation on the next one, and it didn't work. I was like, what's going on here? And I flipped it around, and then it did work. And I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. Yeah, so I hand soldered these, and it was fine. It was quite easy to hand solder these. So I was happy enough with this. So I got on to Maker Fabs and I said, hey, can you source these LEDs for me, these Z-bend LEDs, because they're quite expensive off Mouser or wherever. Is there an alternative in China? And they couldn't find an actual alternative for the Z-bend ones, but they said, hey, we have these ones they're not exactly what you're looking for, but do you want to take a look at them to see what they're like? So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And I was looking at their footprint and I was like, yeah, they should be similar enough to what I have that I could like assemble a prototype with them and see how it works out. So let me get out my so these are the Maker Fab ones. Oh, I missed there was a few comments about my gold tweezers from Unexpected Maker as well. My cheap gold tweezers. I actually bought a couple of more pairs since. I still like them. Oh, top tip, everybody. If you're so LCSC have like this thing where you need to spend, I think it's $15 or they'll charge you $3 admin fee or something. And sometimes like I don't reach that limit when I'm just buying a couple of things. I already have them. And the LCSC sell breadboards, and they're really good. They even sell like the regular size one, not the half size, the full size one, and it's like $1, and it's good quality. So yeah, there is something to fill up your LCSC boots with. Yes, so as the Shepu has alluded to, this is a sunken LED. So if you see where the pads are, what it's designed to be is like, so you have like a cutout in your PCB that like fits the hole, which isn't what I want here, right? That's not ideal for this situation because we need the diffusing of the LED. But I said I get some of them anyways, although I had to buy 100 of each color that I wanted. That was the minimum order quantity, because if I did want to make a new kit version, this might be an option because this is easier to solder than an actual upside down LED. Melt them. So yeah, you could slot that on there. There is a millimeter of a gap or so underneath it. I won't be able to get my My wife. Shh. The two PCB stack might be the way to go. Who knows? It would possibly use a lot of solder, Deshepu. You're right, but you know what else you can do is yeah, you could possibly use two PCBs. That might be the way to go. Yeah, but these ones are much cheaper. I think these are 4 cents each, which is a lot cheaper than 30 cents each. So yeah, what you could do if you wanted to not use as much solder is you could bend it, right? You could bend the legs, but then that's kind of moving away from this being a nice kit to assemble. Zoom in a bit. So as you can see, I've quite easily bent the legs here. So if you had like a long enough, pad, which I don't really here, these pads were designed for the actual Z-bend LEDs. You could solder them fine. Like even the way this is now, I'll be able to solder it. So like it's not a bad option, but like it's probably not what I'd be going for. But the price is that significantly cheaper that it was worth taking a look at to see what it was like. See, like if you're bending the legs, you're not picking place in it. I think Deshepu mentioned about like a spacer 2x1, like same thing with that, I guess, that like you're not picking place in that either. The side emitted things, yeah, side emitted LEDs with hot glue or something, again, you're not picking place in that. Or at least, that, like, I guess you could pick and place it, right? But there is a manual step at the end where you're like applying hot glue. Like, as in, the ideal scenario is you go, hello, Fab House, build this thing for me and give it back to me. As in, like, just, you go build that. It's a normal board if you just buy all these parts, and that is, yeah, that would be ideal. They would assemble okay, Robin, but they wouldn't, as far as I know, they need hot glue or something to diffuse downwards. Like, these wouldn't be that bright of LEDs normally, right? They're all running off a coin cell. So, like, that's a small power source. One thing that was really interesting, actually, on the Discord is Peter. He's called Peter, like the English spelling of Peter on Discord, but I think his GitHub is Pieter, I think. He wrote new firmware for the PCB3, and I'm not 100% sure what he did, but like my firmware, a decent battery lasts like 2 days, 3 days, all the time. And then on his firmware, I think he got like 18 days out of it. It could have been Pieter, but yeah, he's Peter, the English spelling, on 0xpeter on the Discord. And yeah, like crazy how different that was. Like I didn't think I was doing anything particularly bad. Yeah, again, I'd like to remind you I didn't know what I was doing, but yeah. So, okay, what would you like to see assembled? Would you like to see? Well, we can do more than one because I need some. Hey, Mike, how's it going? I can do more than one type. So this is assembled using the Z-bend. These are the expensive LEDs. We can try fudge one together using the Maker Fabs one. We can also hand assemble the first one, or maybe not, we can also, I left the paste down on my kitchen table, but I can go get it. We can also use a stencil if we want, but what would people like to see? So many mods. Yeah, I love to see people modding it. Rotor, he wrote custom firmware for it as well that is more sparkly than mine. I still haven't done that. We could do that too. If I amn't fully sure where my programming stuff is. I have no idea what my programming stuff is, so it'll be a mod only chat. I think I just make people mods so they can share links. Okay, so try the bent pads. Bent pads? We want to see some bent pads? Johnny's not a mod. Well, if you're on your best behavior, Johnny, someday you might become one. Like, maybe even right now. Now Johnny's a mod too. Everyone's a mod. Okay, so I've seen like one vote for bent legs. Anyone else wants? He's gonna rickroll. Oh, undo Johnny's mod. Yeah. Okay. Let's. He's happy. He's not a mod. Let's go with the bent leg ones. I need there is writing on each bag, but it's, I guess, Mandarin. I don't actually know. There is nothing for me to distinguish what colors they are. Hey Samuel, how's it going? I'm pretty sure this is red because I already tested this bag. Hey Stephen, right, occupy yourselves for a second. Can the mods post links still? I didn't see the question. What MCU am I using? Yeah, a Tiny 13 or AT Tiny 13. It's pin identical to the AT Tiny 85. It's just cheaper. There's less memory and stuff. Yeah, there was at one stage I sent a guy a kit, and apparently I forgot the AT Tiny, and he had an AT Tiny 85, and he was like, oh, I'll just stick it on. So he has potentially the world's most powerful PCB3. Links work for me. Can you mod Enwy? What do you want to link, Enwy? But yes, I can. Everyone's a mod. Okay, we'll have to take that out at some stage. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit so you can see. I don't know if I'm sure it's fairly well known, but if you put your multimeter into diode mode, can I give you a light yeah, if you put it into diode mode, so I have a few different modes here. So it's in diode mode. You can, so I can see that's lighting up, but number one, my head's in the way, but I don't think you'll be able to see it either way anyways. Let's flip it around. So yes, a little bit overexposed, I'd say, but that is red. Yeah, it was kind of a fun challenge. It's interesting though, like, I was playing around with like different modes, and all of a sudden it was like your memory is full. I was like, what? I've never gotten this before. Yes. Okay, so that's red. So let's Let's zoom out a little bit so we can. Okay, so this one is red. Right, what else we got here? Mechanics. I kind of planned. I got like tweezers that like plug into my multimeter, but I hate it. They weren't good. They were crap tweezers. Like it was really difficult to do it. I remember Sion getting fancy LED testing tweezers. Are they the same as them, John? So the kids are okay at going to bed, but they've been absolutely crap at staying in bed for the last while, whatever's up with them. I also do not know the LED twee. I also do not know the polarity marking on these. Okay, so these are blue. I should probably like mark them off each other, but I can just get fresh ones. So blue. Miniware offered me the tweezers, and I didn't take them. Just because I didn't really feel like I had anything to add to them, like add to the conversation around them. Like with the TS80, like I felt like I had something to say around that in terms of, like, I had done a good bit of testing of PD power supplies. I had a lot of PD power supplies here. Like I know how to use a soldering iron. So I felt like I could add something to the conversation around the TS80P. But the tweezers from Miniware, I had no use case for them whatsoever. So this is a kind of an orangey tint on it. So we'll see what color this is. It could be pink. Yes, it is pink. It looks probably just white to you guys, but it is pink. So this was the range of colors that these were available in was another appeal to me. Like there was a good couple of different colors in this. That's the wrong way around. I don't know if I put like. I was packing Tindie orders earlier. Could I? Will this diffuse it enough for you to see it as? Yeah. I have to try. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you can see it's kind of pink, but it still looks white. But yeah. Okay, it's pink. All the beautiful visuals. Pink. There is nothing too beautiful. I'm just literally marking the LEDs that I have. I should have a green one and a yellow one, so if I do one more, I should know what I have, but the LED twee. So I remember thinking that they looked pretty nice, But I also remember going, geez, they're like $100 or something. And I was like, I don't want them that much. I don't actually do a lot with LEDs normally. This is about the only thing I do with LEDs. I want to peel more tape, but it's just not coming out. Come out. There we go. Oh, this is also orange. I wasn't expecting that now. So maybe I should test them all. What program are you using? I use Easy EDA. I started the first PCB I ever designed. This is orange. Just probably looks white again to E, but it's 100% orange. I don't remember. I didn't think I ordered orange, but maybe I did. I would have thought I would have ordered yellow, red, green, blue, and pink. I'll have to go back and check, but oh, the LED Twee is only $16. Ah, okay. I don't know why I thought it was so much more expensive. So has everybody finished work? Still working? What's your story work-wise? Dragon fruit, passion fruit. Yes, you're right. They oversell their I don't know what they are. Okay, green, right. So I had red, green, blue, orange, and red, green, blue, orange, and pink. Okie dokie. And I guess it doesn't really matter what polarity I put them in once I put them all in the same way. But the other thing that's actually a bit of a problem with these LEDs is the polarity marker is on this side of the LED. Can I tilt it? Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Zoom in a little bit. I really need to put that on a PCB or something. Do you see that the corner is cut there? Yeah, you can see it there. I always find it weird how like close the C920s can focus. It's kind of like, why do you, in normal circumstances, why do you need to be able to zoom in this much? Yeah. Anyways, you can see it. Right, so let's get assembling, I suppose. I don't think the solder paste is going to do any good for us here, so we'll just hand solder, I guess. Everybody's favorite soldering mat. Hey Andy, happy Christmas to you too. Or happy holidays, or whatever people celebrate this time of the year. Where's my flexi friend? It is not hanging up where it should be. That's right. Stick it back in its case. Oh, I've zoomed way out. Way. Come on. This is one problem I have with this this rotary encoder, or this solution in general. It's too slow to move large amounts. I need to put in like a you know, if spinning a lot, jump more. What a flexi friend. I don't know, but this is called a flex C friend. So it's way different. So no infringement, I'm sure. My desk is feeling rather small at the moment. Let me put down my keyboard and just move some of my stuff more to the left. Like all these LEDs that we just labeled. I didn't label the last one, which was green. Pretty sure. Orange, blue, yeah, red, green. The cookie got eaten, the Fluxy friend. Bitlooney talked about like white labeling Flux. I calling it Bitlooney butter. I think it's a great idea. I haven't 100% sure. Yes, the Discord got posted there. Thanks, Michael. I haven't 100% sure where my tinies are, so I'm gutting a TH PCB3. So this is a true hole version, just as regular LEDs. It was just made to be easier to solder. So I will take the parts out of this and I'll get a nicely programmed tiny. One big advantage of like doing an assembled one over like a kit is you don't have to kit it. Like I don't know how to package these. Like, as in, should an AT Tiny be sitting in a plastic bag loose? Probably not. But how do you do it? I don't know. Okay. So let's start with our... let's try to remember how to solder. I haven't been doing a lot of soldering lately. That's my multimeter saying, hey, I'm about to turn off. So I'll put him out of his misery. I haven't been soldering a lot lately, and making my first one be on stream is good. Ugh, I didn't clean my the head of my soldering iron the last time I used it, obviously. So more recently, when I've been assembling stuff, I've been using Robin. Oh, I just realized I don't know how to pronounce the second name. It's probably Reiter. I've been using his SMD holders. So they're magazines. I don't know if I can slot them under here. I don't want to knock them off kilter, but yeah, so like the tape gets rolled up into them, and yeah, it's working really nice. And I have been also using a pump, well, a pump in reverse, so a vacuum, to like take the parts out. So I've been placing them using the vacuum, and I'm not very good at it, but I think the system is really nice. Like it's much easier because, you know, I'm after that that system's pretty nice even for like storing the stuff. So, you know, you don't have to like look through these silver bags and get out what one you want, and you know, you can kind of cut off the exact amount you need. But like, you know, when you peel the tape and you open it up or whatever, like as in 3 of these are upside down now. So yeah, stop bouncing. 3 of these are upside down now, so we'll have to flip them. Sorry for hitting the camera. Yeah, this office has been less temporary than I originally had hoped it would be. In terms of, I thought I would have moved into what my actual office is going to be before this, but when I do go into my actual office, I won't have the camera clamped to the table anymore. It'll be like screwed to the wall and on the bracket, so me banging on the table shouldn't make a big difference. Stop going to sleep, soldering iron. But we'll have to just put up with what we have for now. It was really rainy in Ireland for the last few days. I don't know exactly what it's like now, but yeah, it's been. You barely need to ask, Michael. It's always rainy. You can just assume. You can assume rain unless somebody says otherwise. You know. I have my webcam quite low, so I just want to make sure to not burn it. Because, so, like, I bought the C920s because they were like £30, but like you wouldn't get a C920 for less than £70 now, so I suppose I should probably tin my tip. I probably won't move anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so I'm just gonna, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna tin one of the pads on each resistor. Too many wires on my desk here. Get my old gold tweezers out. I don't know if any of you care about which direction the numbers are going, but I'm not going to care to the Costa Rica. Bit of husky hair floating around. That's just the life of living with a husky. Husky hair is everywhere. Nice big peak on it there. Probably way too much solder, but anyways, we'll fix that up later. Well, it looks like they're all going to be upside down, so I wonder, can I go one focus more? Doesn't seem to make much difference. That text is in focus, but the LEDs aren't really. Yeah, I have way too much solder on the pad. Anyways, the one negative thing I would say about like placing like the LEDs on the corkboard or whatever is that your tweezers are sharp enough to like stick into it, which isn't good. What is the Irish way to say hi? The Irish way to say hi is Gia Gwitch. So DIADUIT. So Gia is God, I think, and Gwitch would be like witch you. So it's God be with you, but even I'm pretty sure even as like a non-religious greeting, that would be it. There's a space between the dia and the gwich, but yep, that's pretty much it. How do I just do not remember how to solder anymore. This is fine. It's horribly messy, but sure, look. They say, how are you lads in Carlo? That is, yeah, that'd be pretty common, I think, in any sort of more rural setting. How are you lads? Yeah, we do a lot of kind of phrases that mean hello, like how's it going is like hello, really, as well. It's not really like gals would probably be like lassies, maybe. Hey James, how's it going? In my day, we'd use 555. Oh yes. If only there was a product that we could all link to that that serves that point. I don't think I have one here, but if anybody has a link to a certain product and is a moderator, you should post it in the chat. How's it hanging? Yeah. How's it hanging? I imagine that being said here too. I suppose I'll do the tiny next, I guess. Sometimes I find the pads for the tiny, it doesn't stick too well. Gender neutral. How's it hanging? I don't know if that is gender neutral. Okay, we have a little mark here. It's not super clear, but it's kind of, the corner is almost notched off. Yeah, you can kind of see it, I think. So that is the same marking as this one here. Rightio. Okay. Again, I can't. I'm quite far away from this where I'm soldering, which isn't helping, but I'm just going to use that as an excuse for why I'm so terrible at soldering. So I'm kind of trying to put the tip of my iron almost alongside the leg and on the pad at the one time. I find that works pretty well for me most of the time. With a fairly wide pitched thing like this, you've plenty of room to do something like that. So there's the tiny soldered. Yeah, if anybody has a question for me, if you can tag me as well, that'd be good. You used the 555 10 minutes ago, James. What were you doing? It was funny as well. I did a stream where I tried to use a 555 for a project of some description. I think turning on an LED for a while and then turning it off. And like loads of people were like, you shouldn't be using a 555 for this. It's like, everybody tells me to use a 555 for everything. Now I'm using a 555 and now they're telling me to not use a 555. Yeah, sometimes Maker, sometimes is there 555? No, there is not. Hello, Dave. Sometimes maker kind of culture is weird. Like, as in, people are constantly either recommending you upgrade to a more powerful thing or a less powerful thing. Like, as in, so many videos where I do a project using an ESP8266, people are going, oh, you should have used an ESP32. It's got more pins and it's more powerful. And it's like, but the project worked fine on an ESP8266. Like, why should you do that? Like, as in, you could, and you would have more pins, but what would you, as in, what would you do with the pins? So I'm just trying to edit this button. I should really actually make the pads on this button a little bit wider. I don't know why they're... Well, I'm using whatever footprint I have for them, but it just, like... I have tons of space. It shouldn't need to be that. Should have used the 555. That's what everybody's saying. Of course I eat sweet meatballs. I'm Swedish. Are IKEA meatballs anyways representative of Swedish meatballs? Like, people go on about like the IKEA meatballs, and I'm like, yeah, they're fine. Like, I would, it's like, I don't know, McDonald's hamburger, sort of, maybe. Like, as in, I possibly one of my favorite foods is like a burger, like a nice burger. Like, probably my favorite thing to cook at home myself is a burger on the charcoal barbecue. I'd call it a barbecue, but American people would call it a grill, like a Weber kettle, that type of a thing. Love it. It just tastes amazing. Like, I would take a good burger over how I would be able to cook a steak. Well, like, I can probably cook a steak okay, but I just, like, you can buy a really good burger patty for like €2. Like, a good steak costs a hell of a lot more than €2. So, value for money wise, just love a good burger. It's the BC2. I really like the BC2, so it's kind of like that cone tip that's like sliced almost, BC2. And if anyone's using the TS80, I think it's called the BC... There's another letter on it. I don't know what it's... Well, maybe it's BC2 on the TS100, and is it just B2 on the TS100? Guys, I'm gonna phone on this part in. What is going on? Let's clean my tip anyways. But I've done a lot of soldering with this tip, and it's still going. Like, as in, I used to go through tips a lot on the cheaper, like, soldering stations, but yeah, these are made of invincibilium or something. KFC sources chicken locally. I would... Not only because it's bad, but because they're... Possibly the shampoo. Yeah, I don't know. Just... I don't know. Like, I'm okay when whenever somebody says like, oh, you should have done this or you should have done that, I don't really give a crap. Like, as in, I'm fine. And if somebody suggests like, oh, you could have used this thing and it is actually better or cheaper, or as in solves a problem I had, Like, I like that. Like, I like learning about, you know, what's out there. You know, if I use one module, but I could have used something better, like, I like to learn about that. But I can definitely see it being off-putting for people, like, as in, like, I remember when I used to make games and stuff, like, as in, you'd go, oh, you show it to your friend or whatever at lunchtime, and, you know, the first thing they'd do is try break it. You know, it's like, well, just, could you not, oh, this is crap because you can add like 200 players or something. It's like, could you just, you know, I'm not asking you to QA it here. I'm asking you to just try it out and, you know, okay, maybe I should limit you for how many players you can add, but can you just limit yourself for the minute? You know, everybody just as soon as they get a thing, they're like, I want to break it. It's like, no, just relax. What do I have here? 1 second. Peter recommended, this is new to version 2. Peter mentioned adding a capacitor. That it would help the battery, I thought. I don't know exactly what he meant by this. She works as a tester. Yeah. They just know how to just get in there. Have I tried a stencil and solder paste? I have solder pasted before. And I own a stencil for this particular PCB, but with the bent legs, I suppose I could probably solder paste it, but I'm going to hand solder it first. This capacitor. You see, as orders -1 beers. Yes. Let's hope not your heart. Anywhere that serves food by the bucket can't be bad. That's wise words to live your life by. Wake up, Mr. Soldering Iron. Try. I have to say, I don't get a huge amount of negative comments on my videos. I think I'm lucky enough that way. I do find it hard enough to reply to YouTube comments because I do a lot of my interneting on my phone, and the YouTube Studio app is not good. So I get a so one of you comments on like my video, right? And maybe you go like, oh, what values are the resistors or something? Like maybe I forgot to add values through resistors, or maybe it was just missed or whatever. So you'd comment on the video, what values are the resistors? And I get a notification on my phone, David Boyd has commented, what values are the resistors? And I have no context to what video that's from. So I'm in the YouTube Studio app now. I've clicked on the notification. I'm in the YouTube Studio app. I can reply to the comment. But if I press back or any button on the screen, it brings me out of the app. So if I want the context to know what video I'm actually responding or what video the comment is on, I have to go back into the Studio app, navigate down to my most recent comments, and then reply in there. And it's frustrating. So if you ever have questions for me, the best, even if it's on a video, Please do comment on the videos because I'm sure that probably helps with engagement and stuff. But if you want to like get help from me on something, Discord is definitely the way to go. I've only had a couple of really negative comments occasionally, people arguing with me. Like, I don't care about arguing with the choices you've made. Like, isn't they go build a breadboard computer and see how, it's in like, is there a right way or a wrong way? There's whatever way you're doing it. I don't know. Right, well, we just sprinkle all sorts of colours here. What? I have orange, pink, red, blue, and green. Oh yeah, I made a mistake with my PCB. Well, I'm not 100% sure. It was a mistake that I did it. Oh, sorry. Here's one other change that I forgot as well. As you can see here, I inverted the copper fill. So I used the copper fill to kind of give this, different shading on the tree, just to give it, I don't know, something. But I don't know if you'd normally notice it, but some fab houses like PCBWare or JLC, when you order your PCB, there's a watermark on it, so it's like a stamp. Sometimes it's red and sometimes it's black, and it's just like, I guess, whoever made that FR4 material. I use Easy EDA, Arnold. Thanks, Rotten. I haven't streamed in like 4 months or 5 months, but appreciate it. And so, like, I have a big box full of PCBs that I didn't sell because they've got the watermark on the top of them. And some of them are better than others. Like, if you have a watermark here, it doesn't really impact the look of it a huge amount, other than, it's not ideal. But, like, if you have a watermark on top of the thing, it doesn't look great. So, like, the first year I ordered, I got them off JLC, and like, it was just a complete lottery whether, they'd stamp them. And sometimes the stamp would be on the back, which wouldn't be a problem at all. And then sometimes it'd be on the front. And it was just like, I don't know, just kind of roughly every second one was stamped on the front, and I couldn't use it. And I used to sell them as a small disc. Yeah, so I was the biggest cost of something like this, like the PCB3, like the biggest cost is actually probably kitting them up. So they're not that cheap because, like, I guess you can't really panelize them, or if you do panelize them, they're hard to clean up and stuff. So, every tree is a PCB order. So, it's a little bit expensive, but as mentioned right at the start, the LEDs are almost nothing. It's like 20 cents for the LEDs, and like the bomb it's less than $2 for the parts, definitely. But like, kitting them up is in, like, there's 5 different LEDs going to every kit and stuff like that. So like, those kind of costs wouldn't change if you were selling the discounted ones. And I actually kind of felt like if I was selling the discounted ones, I'd be competing with myself. So like, last year I did heavily discount the trees anyways. Like, I think they were $14 or $13. I think they were really heavily discounted at one stage. And I just kind of felt like if I had, extra discounted ones, I'd just be, I'd be, people would go, hey, I just won't buy the good ones because I'll just buy the the crappy ones. And so, yeah, I just felt like maybe it was easier to just swallow them. I'd like to do something with them in terms of like, if we were going to, I don't know, what was that thing called again? Something con, whatever. The Hackaday stuff. You know, as in like, could you do a solder session workshop with them or whatever? Here, you can have them, you know. But yeah, give the PCBs out at meetups. Seems fine. Like I know a lot of people just go, the stamps are part of PCB manufacturing process. They're there. That's like, that is part of the board, and you know that's fair enough too. Yeah. Okay, so okay, we're ready to just start soldering some LEDs now. I can't remember what the dot actually represents, but I'm going to keep the polarity marking with that. So if I have 5 LEDs and 12 slots, let's just solder things and see what happens. It'll be a truly weird one. Auction them during the live streams. Yeah, like I'd like to do something with them, but I just don't know what. Like, as in kitting them up. Like, making kits at quantity takes a huge amount of time. Like, my wife does a lot of the kitting for me. My wife's Fire tablet, which I was using, well, which I was going to use if I went to the Reflow oven, to keep an eye on chat, is currently installing a system update that I did not ask it for. But anyways. One thing I would definitely do if I am, when I'm ordering a new revision, is I want to put like a silk screen line up the middle of the LED, because it's actually quite hard to, when you're hand soldering it, to this is the same on the actual Z-bend ones as well. It's hard to know where the middle of the LED is. So yeah, that would maybe help. Yeah, put it up the middle and maybe have a line of where you think the LED should stop. But yeah. So this isn't a perfect footprint replacement for these, especially when you bend them and stuff. But I think they should be good enough. I think I need more solder there. So even. So even with the bent legs, they still take a decent chunk of solder. Oh, that one wasn't as bad, it's a. Right, I guess probably just bend some LED legs. Hey, Electronics TV. Did you change your name? Were you the guy I met in Germany? It's almost easier to... Yeah, it is sometimes easier to assemble stuff. Especially if you have like a good kind of SMD sort of setup, in terms of like those magazines that I showed earlier from Robin really make a huge difference to how fast I can assemble stuff. Oh no, I bent my LED and then I dropped it. But it's okay, I fell on my lap. Right, there's another one bent. Let me just solder one of each thing. Oh, you're welcome, Robin. I'm not sure I really did a whole lot. How's the manufacturing going? I can imagine the stuff that's going on in the world doesn't help that now. I guess it's not the manufacturing yet, it's the crowdfunding, right? That'll be the next step. So yeah, the other thing is, so depending on how expensive depending on how expensive these are to get assembled, like as in I possibly will need to crowdfund these to get it, like as in, to get, if it requires large-ish quantities to make it financially viable to do, like I probably can't buy 500 of these myself, so potentially I would need to crowdfund them to see, do 500 people want these, or I guess more than, do they want them, do they want to pay whatever they're going to cost. So that'll be interesting too, if it comes down to that. I wonder, do I need to heat up my iron a bit more? It's at 350. Now, it does run cold anyways, but it just doesn't seem to be quite flowing the way I want it to. Again, maybe I don't have enough, but that's not too bad. Who knows what color that was? It was probably blue, maybe? I don't think I bent this one as good as the first one. Yeah, that should be fine. Right. Yeah, people do like it. It was funny. At one stage, I was kind of saying, "Oh, I really should have used different. I shouldn't have used 0603 LEDs." And somebody was saying, like, "Oh, I wouldn't have bought the kit if it didn't have 0603 LEDs." That they wanted the challenge. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I still have plenty of the old version left. Like I've stock. I don't have a huge amount kitted up. I'm still using bits of last year's stock. I didn't really push them this year because I just didn't have time to kit them up. Like I think I have maybe 100 more PCBs. Maybe not that much, maybe 50, but I definitely have plenty. Okay. So I'm just keeping my notch beside my polarity marking. Hopefully, do you know what? I never checked if these Chinese LEDs have the polarity marking mixed up like the other ones do, but I'm just going to assume they don't and pay for it later. This is either orange or pink. Just horsing them in any direction here. Yes, I didn't bend it enough again. It's just sitting on top of the LED. There we go. Yeah, it's funny with the... Did you... Yes, you did hear me say pink. I have pink LEDs here. You always gotta have some pink LEDs, don't you? That is one of the big appeals of these Maker Fab LEDs, that you can get them in lots of colors, including pink. So I don't really know what I'm doing with this bending. I should probably have another pair of tweezers as well, but I'm just kind of grabbing them and just bending it down a little bit. So let's find here. So I have it like that, but anyways. Strong way around. There we go. Solid gold, nothing but the finest for me. It was funny though what we were saying about like kits. Like some people do like the kits, and then there's other things where people just want like the product of it, like power blockers. So I used to sell a few power blockers maybe like a week or whatever. You know, they were not they were a pretty consistent product for me, like this, and they always sold okay, and they were my first product. So like, you know, they were okay in like my sales charts, but never anything. I don't think they had been top for quite some time. And then I started getting them manufactured by Maker Fabs, assembled, like, and like, it's crazy how much more of them a week or a month or whatever I'm selling since I started to do that. Like, yeah, I don't know even what the figures are exactly, but like it went from not being my number one selling product to selling almost double what the nearest one has sold. So yeah. Like, so I ran that promotion in November where if anybody bought a power blocker, I'd send $1 to Gina, the person who wrote Octoprint, and I think I sold 202 of them or something in November. Like, I was expecting like maybe to sell 100 of them. So yeah, it was a busy time throwing together or packaging stuff up and things like that, which might kind of give somewhat of an excuse for me not having released a video in 2 months, but if you only want a product demo, most of the hobby electronics things are way overpriced compared to mass-produced stuff. Yeah, I'm still really surprised that there hasn't been like, not a knockoff power blocker, because you know it's not exactly a unique idea. I'm really surprised there hasn't been an alternative power blocker. Just because why wouldn't there be? Like, yeah, I don't know. Right, we'll put pink in the star and we'll put pink down in the corner here. Everybody loves pink, especially Johnny. I think most of us do enjoy a good pink LED though. Royal Mail has halted. What's a continental country? Like Europe? Like mainland Europe? Is that continental? Okay, let's see now. There's my polarity marker. Mainland, such a loaded term. Is it? I never really thought too deep about it. Just kind of assumed it's like islands, like Ireland or islands, and then there is a mainland. Like if you were on an island in a lake, then the land that kind of borders the lake would be the mainland, I guess. I don't know. I literally never thought too deeply about it. A gouch land? I don't know. What's gouch? Gouch land. Blue LEDs. Yeah. Yeah, what happens? Just they figured out how to make cheap blue LEDs. I don't... I remember when I first got my first car, I guess it would have been around like 2003 or 4. It was an Opel Corsa. I believe it was a Corsa B. Like I remember like buying new like dashboard lights to make my dashboard blue, because you know, what else would you do? But I'm not sure they were LEDs though, were they? Maybe. Who likes sun-dried tomatoes with white cheese? I like sun-dried tomatoes, I think. But what's white cheese? Right, what's this one? Red. I'm gonna have 3 pink on it. Is that a lot? No, I need to have 3 of 2 colors. Put 1 more red on it, and then So, like, I don't think that bending these legs, so it makes it easier to assemble once they're bent, but like I don't think it's worth it over, like, so I haven't actually tried a 0206 LED. Like I don't think it's worth the hassle for the kind of advantage. Ate my last sandwich. Oh, noodles with shrimp flavor. It's white, no? Mozzarella. Mozzarella's pretty white. Do I like mozzarella? I like it on pizzas and stuff. Yeah, I guess you could say I like mozzarella. I'm not a huge cheese person. What's going on here now? I think the LED is just kind of wicking away my heat a bit. It's a little bit bent, but it'll be alright. a bit too eager to move while the pad was still warm. Alright, now I'm in the danger zone because I've no idea what LEDs are where anymore. Ireland is a cheese country. Yeah, Ireland makes cheese. Yeah, I was gonna say they don't make particularly fancy cheese, but you can get Irish mozzarella and stuff too. So I don't know. What's this? This is orange. And Ella's big cheese. Edam is from the Netherlands, right? Like when I think of cheese countries, I think of France. I think is a no-brainer, and maybe Italy. Then I guess you'd have like Ireland and the UK be pretty big at like cheddar cheeses and stuff. I like cheddar cheese. I mainly like cheese when it has melted. Switzerland. Swiss cheese, yes. I was like, what kind of cheese does Switzerland have? And then I was like, oh, yes. Swiss cheese. So what are some of the kind of food traditions that you have at Christmas where you're from? Like, what would your Christmas dinner look like? This will be our first year ever making our own Christmas dinner. Cuba. Yeah, I was in Cuba before. I can't remember the cheese being of note, but I kind of did too much solder on this, but I also didn't really leave myself enough room to get underneath it, so gonna have to blob it a little. Edam is 5 pot noodle. Hey Paul, how's it going? How's the trees going? We're at 1 tree. Mr. DIY, no, and I've programmed at least 100 of them because I pre-programmed them before I send them out. I'm gonna put in. I was gonna say I'm gonna put in 2 blue LEDs, but blue are the first to die, so they obviously will look the worst if they go dim first. So I'm gonna put a blue here. So fish. Cheese fondue, yummy. We're having raclette. What's raclette? I don't know what raclette is. So Joe's having stuffed turkey dressing. Yeah, so are you from the States, Joe? And are you also from the south of the States? I don't know what raclette is. I need to look it up. Stuffed turkey dressing, mashed potato, green beans, cranberry sauce, corn, and rolls. Oh my god, all these people saying raclette is great, and I don't know what it is. I'm an uncultured swine. Yes and no. So the reason I was asking that is because dressing is stuffing, right? Am I right in saying that? Dressing is stuffing like bread crumbs and onion or whatever, just not put in the turkey. And I had never heard that word before, but then I saw Adam Ragusia talking about it recently, and there was like a big regional divide to who calls it dressing. Yeah, so in Ireland, we would call anything that's made up of like breadcrumbs and whatever, we'd call that stuffing regardless of the vessel it was cooked. Right or wrong, that's how we do it. Oh, I really want this raclette. I can't look at the raclette. How do you open Welsh cheese? Carefully. I don't understand that. Carefully? Does carefully mean something in Welsh? Stuffing is usually more flavorful and moist. My favorite type of stuffing is sausage meat stuffing. I think that's real good. A tiny pan and puts whatever he wants in a dozen times. Sounds good. We don't stuff anything. Yeah, we're getting a boned and rolled turkey, so we won't be stuffing anything. I just didn't want to add to the cooking time either. Even if we weren't getting a boned and rolled one. But yeah, sausage meat stuffing. Good stuff. Egg. It's weird. The one I got from DigiKey is working fine. And you've burnt the fuses and all that stuff, Mr. DIY. Yeah, I bought some from reputable places and then some from AliExpress, and all of them have worked for me. Yeah, I kind of have like a script that I run, but it's just running whatever commands got sent to AVR dude when I burnt the bootloader and programmed it. It's just like it's a script that's just it's constantly waiting for you to just press yes and pump out some more Christmas trees. Didn't touch the fuses are kind of if you burnt the bootloader, you would have touched the fuses because the settings you have configured when you burn the bootloader, like as in when it browns out and things like that, that's setting the fuses, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but I think that's how it works. Now, what do we think? Have I made this right? This was not faster, but then again, I didn't have I was kind of picking through LEDs and stuff, so it could be faster. We could try paste the next one and go for a wander down to my garage to see. Oh, the bootloader fails too. Yeah, that's not good. I'm not sure then what to suggest. There's a high voltage, do that in air quotes because it's only like 12 volts, fuse resetter might be worth having a look at. This is nice and sharp. Okay, let's solder the. I guess I could not solder the battery and just check, does it work without soldering the battery? Let's just risk it. Let's solder the battery. I believe in us. As Bitlooney would say, don't let your dreams be dreams. So I'll just try to line this up as nice as we can. Savory dish that isn't improved with more cheese. I wouldn't like cheese on stuffing. Stuffing is savory. Or dressing. Depends on where you're based, as we've discussed. Yeah, so as I started saying earlier and then I got distracted, I made a mistake and I'm not 100% sure if it is actually a mistake or not now, but it happened as a mistake that I didn't know if you were looking at that or not. The original version has no solder mask here to kind of give the illusion that it's a stump. And this one I forgot to cut it out. But like you can't clean the no solder mask version really. So I also got rid of the SAO stand because if they're going to be assembled, there's no point. Just a sandwich in bigger bits, I guess. I like my stuffing in sandwiches too, though. Right. So is this gonna work? What do we think? What do we think? Woohoo! Looks like it's working okay, anyways. Got my lovely pink star. The pink is kind of peachy color. I have the LEDs are soldered wrong, like the wrong way around. They're all working. Oh, look, two blues right beside each other. Ugh. Disgusting. Alright, I'm gonna move one. What one will I move? If I move yellow, if I no, I can't move that one. The two reds, red and blue. Yeah, red and that blue will be pretty decent. Yeah, peach is nice. It's not as pink as I was expecting it to be. But I've definitely soldered them the wrong way around because that LED represents solid. That one represents solid on an, if it was soldered correctly, and it represents flashing here. So it doesn't really matter because it's Charlie plexed, but just all the LEDs are swapped around, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna swap the red and one of the blues though. Probably the middle blue, maybe top blue. Yeah, the red and pink are far enough away from each other that I think it's okay to swap them. Let's get out my make an LED game. And what kind of an LED game? I suppose I should take out the battery. Although I have the switch turned off, but no need to. This would probably be easier to do if I just if I broke out the hot air, but we'll get it out anyways. Let's leave that one to the side. Oh, sorry. Apologies. Let's see. Sketchy. There. So I'm just playing a little dancing game to get these off. So I'm heating up one leg. Get this thing in there. There we go. The right orientation already and everything. Perfect. So get this in here, get this in here. Now we'll just push down. It's very shiny over there. Just gonna push down and do this little dance thing again. And should we flash there? Here we are. It's hideous soldering, but we were flat until Brian had to go open his big mouth. We're certainly not flat at the moment. Oh no! No! One of my overhead LEDs has just ran out of battery. Oh. Just need some more solder now. Okay, looks ugly, but it's fine. This should be a bit easier because flatter. James, when I open source this, you are more than welcome to make a 555 version of this. Okay, so let's see if I didn't mess that up. Well, there's still lighting anyways, so focus. Yeah, so that looks a bit better, I think. Yeah, so this would be like the dimmest it gets because of like it's Charlie plexed, you know, all 12 of them are on at the moment, so I guess like realistically only one LED is on at a time, although it could be more accurate than that, I guess. When they're Charlie plexed, I guess you could probably have 3 LEDs on at a time. You set one high and the other, all the other pins low. You should have 3 LEDs on, I think. I forget. It's using 4 pins, Michael. Yeah, so there's that one. Those LEDs, they work fine. I don't think they'd be a whole lot better than just Pew Pew standalone. Pew Pew standalone. I see it got hidden by. Got filtered out. But Pew Pew standalone, that sounds like on a Hackaday project. That sounds like something Deshepu would do. Pew Pew sounds like his stuff. 0603, 0603, 0805, 1206. Here's what I was looking for. He made a cool Game Boy thing. That is, yeah, that is Deshepu's. So like here's a 1206. Let me let me get some lights back in here. Yeah. So they are being powered now. Oh, there's something falling down. More husky here, I think. They're being powered now by my PD power bank through one of those decoy modules. So it's requesting, I think it's 12 volts, maybe it's 15. And yeah, powering those two lights. So yeah, so like I think like here's a 1206 LED. Like I think that one wouldn't be too hard to get flat, like because it's big and there's a decent amount of glass on the thing. Like it's way easier to keep straight than the 0603. So I don't see a huge advantage to these ones unless you did a two PCB solution. So you had two PCBs that were attached to each other somehow, maybe soldered even, and you put these LEDs on one of them, on the back of one of them with a cutout. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Like it looks nice, but I don't think it's a big advantage, like as in over just regular LEDs. You should be able to get those colors in 1206. It could be laser cut acrylic, and maybe that would look nice too. But I kind of think some of the appeal of the tree is that it is a PCB. Yeah, 1206. Yeah, I think some of the appeal of it is that it, that it's a PCB, that like for us makers or whatever, like this is like I guess it's not unique because there's a lot of Christmas tree shaped PCBs, but like I don't know how to say this without sounding like a bit of a dick, but like I do think this is the nicest one. And yeah, that probably makes me sound like a dick, but I think the diffused, I hadn't seen anybody else do the Christmas tree with the diffused thing, and I think that looks really nice. And then the fact that you can stand it up too is nice. My original plan was to have like another PCB that you slotted into it. But yeah, I think the appeal is the PCB part, but you'd probably make it way cheaper if you used acrylic. I remember like the first time I asked my dad's girlfriend, I was like, how much do you think like that is? And she was like, oh, that's pretty nice. I'd probably pay $5 for it. And I was like, probably, the PCB probably cost me $5. Yeah. Yeah, but anyways. Right. Will we try paste one? I have to go downstairs and get my paste. But other than that, I think we should be okay to paste them. And then I will try bring ye down to my garage where I will try reflow it using Unexpected Maker's Reflow Master. If it doesn't work out, don't blame him. It has worked pretty well for me before. Yeah, how do you get below $5? I just don't think you do. You make it way smaller, maybe, so you could fit a lot of them together. First or the Pro? It's the first one. It's the first one. Okay, I need to get my paste. People want to see me paste the PCB3. I think I can use another PCB3 to kind of slot it in. Do you have? I do not have the bake feature. No, I haven't. I have my laptop is set up to upgrade the firmware because I do think I put some custom firmware on it that he was working on at the time that I installed it, but it doesn't have bake. Hey, Simple Electronics, how's it going? So if I tape them down, I think that's nice how they slot into each other like that. Don't know, I could maybe break out this middle one. I'd never be able to break it out too easy, though, would I? Sure, I don't need them. Do I need them all to be connected? Probably wouldn't hurt. Look at this beautiful design we're making here. Look at it. He ran back to reply. Yeah, I made it just for me. If you come over and like babysit my kids, I'll flash it, no problem. Sure. Xeon, I got the Reflow Master off Xeon in, I think it was 2018, was it? It was a long time ago, and I only installed it this year. So, whoops. Right, I'm gonna use the most useful free thing that JLC send. Tape. Although when I stretch it like that won't do it any good. I'm surprised my soldering iron's still on. So this is not how you should. This is not how you should. Do this, but I'm gonna do it this way because I'm a rebel. That's too bunched up. I suppose I could just Nobody gets stenciling techniques from me here. So I've been printing surrounds for my stencils recently, and I think it's been working out pretty well actually. Hey Cable Tie, how's it going? Johnny is ever present. I don't think I've ever been at a live stream where Johnny hasn't been there. Omnipresent, is that the correct term? What's happening? We are assembling some Christmas trees, and now we hand assembled one, and now I'm gonna stencil one, and I'm really bad at stenciling. So why not do it on stream instead? It's the best way to practice, isn't it? With 66 people watching. Just taping some shit to the bench. It's a lot easier when it's a lot easier when it's square. Johnny, you were at all the live streams before lockdowns. It's funny, like my like I hang out with my friends like playing games online, you know, so when you hear people going, oh yeah, we have to meet up with my friends on Zoom or whatever, and I'm like, no, we haven't really changed how we operated at all. So I'm doing weird crap over here now. Suppose I as well bring it right to an edge, really. No, I'll leave it in the middle. Hey P Mouse, how's it going? Have you changed your name, P Mouse? I don't recognize who you are, but you have a mod symbol. Sorry if I cause offense by that now. Are you always P Mouse? Yeah, little you're offended, or yeah, little you've changed your name. I'm really sorry. I'm bad with names. Oh, you've changed your name. Who are you? Oh, Pete. Hello, Pete. Yes, I remember. No. Okay, that... Oh, you... Please be the same size. Both sides. I built my stencil around the thing being the other way around, so... Okay. Okay. Let's see. Right, got my stencil here. Oh, doesn't seem too bad. I should have cut my tape before lining up my stencil though. So I think the general do as I say, not as I do is I've seen a few people talking about using aluminium tape or aluminum tape because it doesn't stretch, which makes sense to me. Oh, I have not streamed for a while. No, I think this is my first time to stream. Makercast aside, I think this is my first time to stream since maybe like August. I think. Yeah, I was just finding it hard to keep up with kind of like a stream schedule. I don't like how close that is to where I need to place paste. Yeah, I was just finding it hard to kind of keep up with stuff, and I also didn't like that I was like streaming so much more than I was releasing videos. Press F to pay respects. Pay respects to who? I'm still here, baby. Except I'm not going to be here. I need to go downstairs and get my paste. I'll be back in like literally, I don't know, a minute. Keep yourselves entertained. Hello, I'm back. I didn't even mute. What are you trying to do? Trying to remove my PCB. Yeah, I was downstairs thinking, geez, if anybody takes over now, I'm in trouble. All the mods. This is an old gift card, so if you, it looks like a MasterCard, but it, I can assure you is worthless. Looks like I might have to do more than one paste though, because it's not wide enough. I do have a bigger thing, but it didn't work the last time I tried it, so I was using shit paste though. Okay, we'll try use this thing because it's the right size. Okay, so go a bit heavier in the middle and let it ease out at the side. Okay, so this is, I'll give them a bit of press. Soldering, they're a UK manufacturer of solder. They sent me this for free. I don't have to do or say anything with it, but I like it. I'll probably buy more when I run out of it. So, but I didn't buy that. So when I say I'll buy more, I will buy for the first time more of it. I hate solder. I don't know. Let's go. Did not have enough paste, and it is. I do not like this thing, but I didn't have enough paste. That was on me. I have a PCB underneath. That I do have. But I'm going to make some of you have nightmares now. Because I'm going to go over stuff more than once. See, the problem with using a syringe is if you put too much on, you can't put it back in. Better, but not quite there. So, sorry everybody who says go over it only once. Well, I probably only did this one once anyway. So if it's all smooshed underneath, you know why. Yeah, that's probably alright. I really should have gotten my LEDs ready before I did this, but anyways. Let's lift this up. Looks fine. They're all big pads anyways. Yeah, looks good to me anyways. Oh, I'm out of range of my of the motion of my thing here. So let's move to a fresh spot. That's a terrible spot because of the light. Hey Brian, how's it going? Brian with a Y, recently passed 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. So congratulations to you, Brian. When I saw that tweet, I also noticed that I also passed 15,000 subscribers, but I wasn't really keeping count at the time because I haven't released any videos. Yes, so okay. Now we need to get my multimeter out again because we need to. Oh, I suppose I could just copy this one. So I need to bring up my. I need to work quick because I don't want my paste getting tired. Let's see. Tindie.com. I'm just bringing up. I have like a suggested layout of the way the LEDs should go. Let's try to bring that up here. I wonder, can I like overlay that in the stream somehow? What is this currently looking at? That's looking at the Oops. Maybe we should lock that. Ah, no. Let's lock the desk. This is why they pay me the big bucks. Look at this. Look at this. Now, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey guys, I want to do this LED as fast as I can. Here I am drawing a little Christmas tree on a screen. Okay, there we go. That's what we gotta do. Clickbait. I think if I just released a few videos, that'd probably help. It definitely wouldn't hurt. Okay. Right, so we have my green LEDs here, I think. I don't see the bag I took them out of. Maybe they're blue. No, they're definitely not blue. I have some LEDs here, and I don't know. I don't see the bag I took them out of, which are labeled the color that they are. No, I'm so unorganized. Yes, I have green here, and it's an empty bag, so possibly green. There's 3 of them, whatever it is. So I can get my multimeter. My paste is gonna expire. I don't know what the actual time of life is, but this is green. Yes, that's green. Okay. Let's go. Right, so green, the middle one should be green here. And he is... I don't see the dot. Oh, that's my new one. He is reverse polaritied. Okay, so I have to put him not where my dot is. I suppose I should probably start with the smaller things. Yeah, I'm panicking Skywalker here. I'll get my green ones and I'll get them lined up. Now I will go get everything else, which are in a nice little bag. Yeah, the probably made in China thing is, I don't know, I still see it on loads of products and I think it's just weird, but like the first place I noticed it for sure was an iPod I got. It was like designed in California and then written in tiny text somewhere as like made in China. I just thought that was kind of interesting. But like I still see it on loads of stuff. Like we have a thermometer that's like designed in Germany, manufactured in Mexico. I don't think it's as kind of big or as blatant as that. Oh, yeah. 0805 LED. I launched it. Now all my LEDs are upside down. So you're going to see shaky hands lock here now because I'm not good at placing these, even large ones. Let me move my microphone over a bit so you can hear my quiet muttering.
So these are 0805 LEDs, so they're pretty big. Like the Flexi Friend has 0402, which is certainly more challenging than these. These feel like playing with Duplo after you've been... How do I see these? These are big. Well, I guess they mightn't be too big on your screen, and you're not very well focused, but these are way bigger than what I've done on some other boards. Like, is Sion still there? He's probably out in his garage somewhere. They're 0805, so they're relatively big. Like the 0805 are easily hand solderable. Like I really think SMD stuff isn't as hard as like it looks to begin with. Boop. The capacitor, did I put that back in its... how small can you hand place, Cian? Or can you do 0201? Did I not take some out of this? So I can do 0402, but not well. Like I'm not fast at it whatsoever. Yeah, I think I don't have a steady hand at all anymore. I think like I would prefer to solder like an 0805 resistor than a true hole resistor. I just find them easier to do now. Not great with the old paste there, but anyways. Right, so reverse mounted LEDs. So there's a green one down here. Where else do we have a green one? This one over here. Again, I'm being conscious to put my polarity marking the wrong way around, because the polarity marking on the different color LEDs is different, and I only did it for the red ones. There we go. Okay, there's green ones done. Let's get red because I have them to hand here. Seems mighty diminutive. All those games of Operation. Yep. I'm Operation Champion. No, I'm quite shaky now. Even not on stream, I'm not that good at it. Her first soldering was making the PCB3, like the upside down LED version. You're a monster if it was. My tape is kind of split here. It's not peeling off nicely. But anyways, so these are the red ones. So these can be placed as per the marking. So I'll place that number 4 one first. What else we got? Number 11. And number 7 up the top. Rightio. Wow, 2 LEDs. That's really good going. Legitimately really good going. Yeah, I included extra LEDs because I hated the thought of you not being able to finish something because like you dropped an LED on the carpet or something. Like it just felt like, you know, these cost me less than a cent each. How did that happen though? I skipped one in the tape. Just kind of stayed sitting in there and I kept pulling. And these LEDs are expensive too, so. Right, these are blue and they are also reverse polarity. Where else do we have blue? Number 5. And like what I was saying with the kitting up, like isn't whether you put 4 or 5 into the kit doesn't really matter. So it's just a matter of keeping all your parts at 0. Yeah, I should. Well, we've the problem with the reverse polarity anyways, but some of this was just to make the routing a little bit nicer. Like it's possible maybe we could do it okay anyways. I guess you could just put that to the left. I probably would have to rotate it some ways anyways, but again, I designed this PCB, the original one, when I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I'm pretty sure I kept the orientation even if it was weird on these, so. But yeah, it's a good suggestion, but I probably will I probably won't be hand assembling too many of them. Yeah. Like it's so easy. Like sure, I even flicked an 0805 resistor away there. And it's just like rather than me having to go dig out this, you know, 1 cent part, I just include an extra resistor. So I could actually probably pick these straight out with the tweezers and rotate the board. So this is going to be yellow 9. I think these are the correct orientation. Yeah. Plop. Gotta get the star in. There's a lot of paste on that top star. That'll be fine, I'm sure. It's not like it has anywhere to really go bridge. Let's just rotate this around. No, I'm stuck. Sorry, you can't even see this, but I'm stuck. I don't know what to poke this with to stop me being stuck. I must have stuck the pin in between the leg and the plastic. Pen here. So I'll do. There we go. Although I've kind of butchered the paste that was there, but anyways. Right. Snobby tweezers. Leave my poor tweezers alone. Okay. I'm gonna try something. Let's see how it works out. Okay. I am going to try something. Let's see how it works out. Restart. Hello. Can you hear me okay? See me okay? I need to bring this tablet with me. Is this on? Yes, okay, so they can see me. So this is a software called StreamDroid OBS or something. So it's streaming from my phone at the moment, and the microphone is also on my phone. So yeah, I need to just bring the tablet with me so you can let me know if it's too loud or too whatever. I just need to search for my own stream. Brian Locke. Oh, don't play. Stop. Don't play the noise. Okay, cool. You need a selfie stick. Ooh. Right, I'm gonna stop. I'm probably gonna stop the stream because I can't. I'm gonna stop this thing for a minute, and I'll start it again in like 1 minute because I won't be able to hold everything and hold you up. Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay. Can you hear me? I was meant to adjust it so I was actually able to stand up. What are we doing? Is it the mark on the wall? This is my garage. Yeah, so it's not very nicely painted, but it's where my Reflow master lives. I didn't bring anything for it to sit on. Just 1 second. Welcome to the garage. 1 second. That's there if we need it. Right. flick everything on, and we're back. I can't see myself anymore. My phone is turned off, but yeah, let me know in the chat if it's not working. Okay, Reflow Master. Yeah. My USB wire is a bit faulty. Boop, boop, boop. It works. Awesome. It's gonna came and watch. So it's cold down here, 13 degrees. Right, so let's get this little buddy in. I think I'm gonna put him inside. I'll just put him straight down the middle. Make it easier to grab back out to him. Just grab onto the battery slot. Yeah, 13 degrees, really low temp. Okay, so it has to get up to 27 degrees before. Yeah, so this this is an okay setup here in terms of like. So my phone is in a tripod. So somebody was mentioning about a selfie stick. It's kind of a selfie stick. I'm a little bit high, I think, though. I want you to be able to see the oven as well as my face, so I think it's easier for me to just duck down. Yeah, having a garage is nice. 3D printers over there. Got an exercise bike. Got a load of tools. Wonder if there's nothing. Let me just check for addresses. I don't really see anything. Take a plastic bag off that thing. May as well take the tablet too. Right, so it started off there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to mute this tablet and see what you guys see. Okay, so it looks alright. You can see a graph on that thing. It's ramping up at the moment. There's no insulation or anything on this. It's just a solid state relay and the thing. If you want, you can see yourselves. That's Inception. It's not too bad delay wise actually. Right, so yeah, it's ramping up there. It's doing its thing. It is low temp solder paste. Don't cross the streams. It's like, I think it goes to 135 or something, so it's pretty low. I'm just using one of the pre-installed things that Xeon provided. I think it's Chip Quick or something. It has worked well for me with this before, so yeah. When it's cooling down, I'll give you a quick tour of the garage. It is a bit of a mess, like my life. Yeah, I really should probably paint that wall, especially if it's going to feature on live streams. So now would be a good time to ask me any weird questions. Good night, Paul. Thanks for joining the stream. That's true. Johnny is saying random Swedish words. Burp mode. Yeah, it's green screen. I'll just chroma key that to white. Leave the wall. Yeah, I guess there were tests. I didn't test that paint, but somebody was testing paint on it. But yeah, it's cold. Like I'm okay, but like you can tell it's that 13 degrees or whatever. So I don't have any fan in this either, so when it gets over that little bump, I open the door a tiny bit. So getting there. I don't have a light to shine in to show you, so there wouldn't be anything gained by me holding you up closer. You just see the reflection of the lights. Throw it into snow. I don't have any snow. I wish we had snow. Sort of. I don't like the logistics of it, but I like snow itself. Is the volume of me speaking okay? I did a few tests and I needed to boost the audio in OBS quite a bit, but it seemed okay by the time I was done. Okay. Rotten Brain said it's good. Joe Velasco says it's pretty good too. It's okay. Is that quality or level? I do have like a little mini shotgun mic, but it was causing some interference. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I kind of try close it up again to keep some of the heat in, to get it to go a little bit more over to the line. Now I'll open it again to try follow its path. You can hear me all the way in Canada. Sorry about the beeps. No, it is loud, but it's not that loud in person. I think it's just, it was well able to pick that up. There's fumes coming out of this. Thankfully, this is not. Okay, thank you. Thankfully, this is not a airtight garage whatsoever. Okay, so for future streams, we need to turn down that buzzer, put a bit of tape on it or something. Is it sticking out the side? Yeah, I need to put a bit of tape on it or something. Apologies. Sion's fault for making such a loud buzzer. You wouldn't be proud of my graph, Sion. I don't have a fan in it, so I'm just... It followed it pretty closely until the end. The end is not the best. Let me I'll make it louder. Okay, things might get a little rocky here now. So, don't know if you can see that there. Seems alright. So there's the Christmas tree having a little bit of a cool down. So welcome to my messy garage. There's some pegboard and some tools. What else we got here? We got my workbench that I don't use a huge amount. Do use the 3D printer, obviously. And yeah, that's pretty much it. More tools and sweets and stuff. And there's my exercise bike. You probably can't hear me. Okay. So, let's put it out and put it on this metal thing. Looks pretty good. Just put it up there to cool down. What have you been saying? I'm clipping. Okay, so I've boosted it too fine. Not too much. You opened the door too quickly. Got to it slowly. It's a thermal shock. Okay. Let's try to shut up the beep. Yeah, I wouldn't cook anything in that oven anymore. That, I don't know, has that ever cooked any food? Because I bought it second hand, but it seemed like they had never used it either. So, yeah. Right, I think I will relocate to the foyer. See you, Brian. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I'll be back online in just a moment. I'm gonna stop this phone stream because again I won't be able to hold everything. Okay. Hello. See you, Deshapu. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at this. We'll zoom ourselves in. So, as you can see, it seemed to reflow fine. No issues. So all I need to do now is solder the battery holder. So let's turn back on my TS100. Where is my battery holder? It's here. I need to make myself a jig for keeping these straight, because at the moment I'm just kind of winging it on a prayer. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm soldering the wrong way around. This makes this a little bit more challenging. Okay, I'm trying to position myself here. Come on, there we go. it's on, we can kind of maneuver ourselves into position. That doesn't seem too bad. We'd love some what? I'd love some, and then the next thing I read was sleep deprivation. I went to bed really late last night and had to get up my usual time, so I'm pretty deprived of sleep today. Ooh, I have a blob of solder sticking out near my ISP header, but that's okay. Right, what do we think? It's gonna work? What do we think? Is it gonna work? I think it'll probably work. Hey! Look at this bad boy. She's a beauty, boys. That is the first reflowed Christmas tree. I'm so proud. She's a little beauty. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there because it is midnight. I am set up to do more here, which I will probably leave this setup here, but I need to find my tinies. I don't want to break up any more kits. Yeah, so pile of stuff. We hand assembled, which one is it now? We hand assembled one board using one type of reverse mounted LED that should have a cutout for it. It works pretty decently, I would say. It's fine, but it's not ideal for assembling. But you know, they look fine. Nothing wrong with them. But I don't think it provides enough of an improvement over just regular LEDs that you mount upside down. And I didn't actually put the battery holder on it too well. It's kind of falling forward when it doesn't have a battery in it. But the actual reverse mounted LEDs, the really expensive ones, like I was able to put them on with a stencil. I was able to reflow them. I used some magic software to transport myself down to the garage and be able to reflow from there while showing you guys, which was cool. I was glad that worked out. That'll be useful for future streams. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And yeah, just want to say happy Christmas or happy holidays or whatever it is you support, and hope you have a celebrate. Hope you have a good time off, and I'll talk to you again. There's a few links in the chat for the Discord. Should be in the description as well. If you want to hang out some more with a lot of the people who are here in this chat, that is a good place to do it. And yeah, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you again.